So you've written a book or you're thinking of writing one. Or perhaps you don't call yourself a writer because you're not published yet. Or maybe you're super hard on yourself because your manuscript is not perfect. We've all been there, and I'm not about to let your dreams get tucked away in a drawer forever. So I've created this video giving you 5 tips on how to gain confidence as a writer. Before we get started, be sure that you subscribe to this channel. I am here twice a week on Sunday and Thursday. Today I'm uploading on Wednesday because this video is a collaboration with Melissa Hope from Hopeful Happenings, and she is going to be sharing her tips on how to gain confidence while you're editing. So when you're done watching this video, make sure you head on over to her channel, give it a thumbs up, and show her lots of love. So here we go. Tip number 1 is to eliminate perfectionism from your vocabulary. Perfectionism does not exist. Your book will never be perfect. No one's book is, and that is okay. What you may think is perfect, others will find fault in it. I remember a perfect message that I received from my editor. She told me, "Let me share a little secret with you. All writers need to be edited." And I thought that was wonderful because it made me understand my role as a writer and her role as an editor. So stop being so hard on yourself and stop thinking everything has to be perfect, because it doesn't. Tip number 2 is to do it anyway. The more you write, the better you will get. And if you're not quite ready to write this big manuscript, because it's a lot and it is a commitment to do so, then maybe write a blog, write an article, or just spend a lot of time writing, social posts that with meaning or something that will just get you practicing on your craft. The more you do it, the more you'll start believing that you are a writer. It's all about practicing, and I promise you, the more you do it, the better you will get. One day you will write a sentence that is just going to hit you to the core, and you're going to be like, damn, that was good. And then you can be like, yes, I'm a writer. And that little small sentence will just keep it going until you can just expand it, and before you know it, you will believe that you're a writer. Tip number 3 is to take time to learn. Way before I got my writing degree, I was online learning everything I could about writing and marketing, anything from how to format a manuscript to learning about a literary agent. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I always knew there were agents for like musicians and actors. I just never knew there was one for us in the publishing industry. I knew nothing. I was really green, you guys. I didn't know what font to use in my manuscript, how to format it, that I needed to query agents. I didn't know anything. And then I even went further and learned about self-publishing, and that's a whole different thing. But yeah, you guys, I learned as much as I could, because and even now after I'm done with my writing degree, I still get online and I go to forums and I turn to YouTube, and I'm constantly learning. So with that said, I want you to take a look at the video that I recorded on lessons I learned from my debut novel. I think they will serve you. My lessons will serve you a lot, so I will leave it in the description box below if you want to take a look. Tip number 4 is to fall in love with your story. Sometimes it's not that we're bad writers or that we're struggling with the way we want to say something, but maybe it's actually the story that you're trying to write that doesn't quite fit with you at the moment. I have 4 or 5 manuscripts that I have personally started and have written well over 20,000 words, and they're still sitting in my computer, and I haven't been able to finish it because I've just simply not been inspired to. And if I had gotten stuck on the fact that, oh, I'm just not a good writer, if I was a good writer, I could press on and finish the manuscript, then I wouldn't have written 3 books, and actually I've written 4 books. One is in editing phase right now with my professional editor. So you can't get stuck on that, I have to write this story. You write a story that you fall in love with, that story that you must tell from beginning to end. And I promise you, when you start and finish something, you will gain confidence as a writer. Right now, you may be lacking it because maybe you've started a ton of stories that you haven't finished. It's okay. It wasn't your story. Find your story. And tip number 5 is to forget about the outcome. Forget about becoming a New York Times bestseller or becoming rich or going on tour, or maybe your book someday becoming a movie. Those are all wonderful things to visualize and to think about. But when you are in the middle of trying to gain confidence as a writer or trying to finish your stories, those things could just add pressure and block you from doing what you need to do, which is finishing your story. I think there's a place for all those things, but when you're trying to just, get your story finished or trying to just be confident as a writer and present the best of you, maybe those things will serve as a distraction. Okay, now it's your turn. What is a tip that you can give me to gain confidence as a writer? Or let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite tip. I want you to know that that book that you have inside of you is ready to come out, and we all need it. You need it, I need it. Just think back to a time in your life when there was a book out there that just totally moved you and motivated you to do something, or a song or a movie. And imagine if those artists had not done their part, had not finished or completed their work. It would make a big difference in the world today. And your book, your story will do the same for so many people. So I encourage you to do it and to just practice these 5 tips, because I know if you do, you will gain confidence. Trust me, I was very insecure about writing one single word on Facebook. At the time, there was no Instagram. I couldn't even post a single word on Facebook because I was afraid of using the wrong terminology or having typos, which I still do all the time. I have typos all the time. I don't know why. I edit myself, I reread it, and I still have it. And still, I've put out 3 books, and I've just finished my 4th manuscript, and I'm getting ready to start another one because I did those 5 things that I've just told you to do. Thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure that you subscribe on your way out. And I want to remind you that as long as you believe, anything is possible. Until next time, you guys, stay safe.